On 15th August 2002, India will turn independent India will turn 75. So इंडिया तो काफी पहले से है लेकिन इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया is only 75 years old. So as in the lifespan of nation, India is still young. So the best is surely yet to come. So India's youthful and aspirational population deserves a rapid transformation of the economy which can deliver double-digit growth, job and prosperity for all. So India has a huge demographic dividend. It is in our favor right now. So India's useful and aspirational population deserve a rapid transformation of the economy, which can deliver double-digit growth, job, and prosperity for all. So there must be room for confidence, but there should be no room for complacency. So a surge of energy, unshakable resolve on the part of the government, private sector, and every individual citizen can achieve this transformation in the next 5 years. So 70 years ago, similar energy, effort, and resolve from all the Indians freed the country from the colonial rule within the 5 years of the launch of Quit India movement in 1942. So even at that time, there was a surge of energy among people during Quit India movement of 1942. There was untiring efforts and unshakable resolve on the part of the people, the Congress, to free the country from the colonial rule, and we achieve it within 5 years of the launch of the Quit India movement. The same kind of energy, untiring effort, unshakable resolve is required on the part of the government, private sector, every individual citizen, so that we can achieve the transformation of our economy in the next 5 years. So, Prime Minister called for Sankalp Se Siddhi is a clarion call for the radical transformation for a new India by 2020-23. Clarion means loud and clear. Sankalp Se Siddhi is a Prime Minister call. Sankalp Se Siddhi is a clarion call for a radical transformation for a new India by 2020-23. So, government role must be defined correctly, and reimagination of governance is needed. And we need a development state that focuses sharply on the difficult and accountable delivery of the key public goods and services. So हमें में key public goods and services पे focus करना है, accountable delivery of key public goods and services. And there is an ongoing effort to achieve optimum level of public-private partnership. So policies has been put in place for efficient delivery of public goods and services. For example, health, education, power, urban water supply, and connectivity. So these are the key public goods and services. So there should be accountable delivery of key public goods and services such as health, education, power, urban water supply, and connectivity. So there is a deliberative effort is being made to cut red tape and burdensome over-regulation for promoting entrepreneurship and private investment. So India is currently putting in place a development state guided by the philosophy of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. In this vision document, 41 areas are recognized and the progress is already made. And we must identify the binding constraint in each specific sector. Binding constraint said that we have to follow this compulsorily. And 41 sector are divided into four sections. They are drivers, infrastructure, inclusion, and governance. So we must focus on the doubling of the farmer income, boosting Make in India, upgrading the science and technology innovation ecosystem, promoting sunrise sector, for example, fintech and tourism sector. So these are called as sunrise sector, fintech and tourism sector. So we must focus on the doubling the farmer income, boosting Make in India, upgrading science and technology innovation ecosystem, promoting sunrise sector like fintech and tourism. And it is essential for generating sufficient job and achieving prosperity for all. So there are the four key steps among the others have been spelled out to achieve a GDP growth rate. So first of all, we have to increase the investment rate as measured by the gross fixed capital formation. So we have to increase the investment rate from 29% to 36% of GDP by 2022. The gross fixed capital formation will have to increase from 29% to 36% of the GDP by 2022. We must increase the investment rate. We want growth. And this increase will come from the public investment as well as private investment. About half will come from the public investment and half from private sector. On an agriculture sector, emphasis must shift to converting farmer to agripreneurs by further expanding e-NAMs, means e-National Agriculture Markets, and replacing the APMC Act, that is Agriculture Produce Market Committee Act, with the Agriculture Produce and Livestock Marketing Act. So we must replace Agriculture Produce Marketing Act with the Agriculture Produce Livestock Marketing. And there's a creation of unified national market. So we need a unified national market. Free export regime, abolition of essential commodity acts are essential for boosting the agriculture growth. So the creation of unified national market, freer export regime, abolition of essential commodities act are essential for boosting agriculture growth. And to ensure maximum employment creation, the codification of the labor laws must be completed and a massive effort must be made to upskill apprenticeship. So the second section on infrastructure deals with physical foundation of growth. Physical foundation means infrastructure is very important for the development of the economy. So a lot of progress have already made in all the infrastructure sector. So this is crucial for enhancing the competitiveness of India's business. So it is important for the competitiveness of India business as also for ensuring the citizens' ease of living. Expediting the establishment of Rail Development Authority. So they'll make it fast. They'll expedite the establishment of the Rail Development Authority, which is already approved. And this Rail Development Authority, it will advise and make informed decisions on an integrated, transparent, and dynamic pricing mechanism. So we'll take informed decision on integrated, transparent, dynamic pricing mechanism for the railways. Investment in the railways will be ramped up, including by monetizing existing railway assets. So we'll also monetize existing railway assets. जो सी फालतू पड़े हैं, so we'll monetize the existing railway assets. And the share of the freight transported by coastal shipping and inland waters will be double. Initially, viability gap funding will be provided until the infrastructure is fully developed. So the share of the free transport by the coastal shipping and inland waters will be double. And initially, viability gap funding will be provided until the infrastructure is fully developed. An IT-enabled platform will be developed for integrated different mode of transport and promoting multimodal and digitized mobility. So you will have an app through which you can see that you can connect like waterways with the railways, railways with the roadways. So this is what will be done. That's promoting multimodal and digitized mobility. So with the completion of BharatNet program in 2019, all 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayat will be digitally connected. So there was a aim that all the 2.5 lakh Gram Panchayat should be digitally connected. In the next phase, we'll focus on last mile connected to the individual villages. First of all, Gram Panchayat should be connected, and Gram Panchayat after that, the focus will be providing connectivity to individual villagers in the last phase. So the aim will be deliver all the government services at the state, district and Gram Panchayat level digitally and thereby eliminating digital divide. So all the government services should be provided digitally to the citizens of the country, thus eliminating the digital divide. So the conclusion, we have urgent task of investing in the capabilities of Indian citizen. So there's an urgent task of investing in the capability of Indian citizen if we want to utilize our demographic dividend. So we must invest in the capabilities of Indian citizens. And this section revolves around the various dimensions of health, education, and mainstreaming of the traditionally marginalized section of the population, for example, SC/ST. So we should mainstream the traditionally marginalized section of the population. So there are four key steps to fulfill the urgent task of investing in the capabilities of India's citizen. So India successfully implemented Ayushman Bharat program, including the establishment of 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers across the country and rolling out of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana Abhiyan. And quality, upgrading the quality of the school education system. We know that quality of school education is not up to the mark, so we need to upgrade the quality of the school education system, and also the quality of the skills. So quality of school education system and skills, including the creation of new innovation ecosystem at the ground level by establishing at least 10,000 adult tinkering lab by 2020. So we need to establish on 10,000 adult tinkering labs by 2020 and we should focus on providing affordable housing in urban areas and will give a huge push to improve the workers living conditions and ensure equity, providing strong impetus to the economic growth. Implementing strategies to achieve regional equity by focusing on northeastern region. So we'll focus on the northeast region and try to mainstream them and will successfully roll out the aspirational district program. So the finance section of there is a finance section of the governance. So it delivers deep into the task. So final section on the governance delves deep into the task. The business of the government can be streamlined. So business of the government should be streamlined and reformed to achieve the better outcomes. It involves sharp focus on ensuring accountability and shift to performance-based evaluation. And government will revamp its data system and analysis so that policy intervention and decision making are based on the evidence and real-time basis. So what are the policy intervention are taken? They are based on evidence and real-time data, and they should also reflect the ground realities. So this will yield efficient and targeted delivery of the services and justice to those who need it the most. So it will write justice to those who need it the most, the targeted delivery of the services. So focusing on implementing the recommendation of the second ARC. So second ARC is a prelude to appointing a successor for the designing reform. Prelude means an actual event serving as an introduction to something more important. The new Autonomous Council, Arbitration Council of India, must be set up to make arbitration process cost effective and speedy. So, a new Autonomous Arbitration Council of India may be set up to make this arbitration process most cost effective and speedy, and is to the preempt the need of for the court intervention. So, ये खत्म कर देगा, preempt means खत्म कर देगा the need for the court intervention. And the scope of Swachh Bharat mission may be expanded to cover the initiative for the landfills, plastic waste, municipal waste, and generating wealth from waste. So the scope of Swachh Bharat mission should be further expanded to cover the initiative like landfills, plastic waste, and municipal waste, and generating wealth from the waste, like converting the waste into energy. So, to achieve the goal of the New India, it is important for the private sector, civil society, and even individual to draw up their own strategies and to complement and supplement the steps the government intends to take. And with the samkalp of all the Indians, we will have Siddhi. So, to achieve the goals of New India, so we need New India. It is important that private sector, civil society, I mean individuals, to draw their own strategies to complement. So, we must complement, supplement the steps the government intends to take.